All right, lovelies, most of you that know me know that I love a good blush moment. And there is just something about spring, at least spring this year, where I am like, blush, give me all of the blush. I mean, I'm always like, give me all of the blush, but I really have a vibe this season. So I wanted to sit down and share with you the top blushes that I am excited to pull out of my collection. Now, some of these are products that you may not be able to get, but I think most of them are available. And all of these but two are very tried and true. So this is definitely going to be some serious faves that we are getting into today, and I cannot wait to share them with you. I am wearing one right now. We're gonna dive right into all of the things that I'm gonna be putting probably too much on on my cheeks this season. But if we haven't met before, my name is Kelly and I'm a professional hair and makeup artist. And here on my channel, I strive to keep beauty real. Real honest, real relatable, and real fun. So if that sounds like something you'd enjoy, don't forget to click subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on future videos. All right, without further ado, let's dive in. We do have a mix of some creams and powders. You all know that I am really a cream girly. I just love myself a cream blush moment, but I do have a few powders in here. So whether you love powders or creams or a little bit of both, hopefully there's something in here that makes your heart go pitter patter, or even better, it's something that's already in your collection and you're like, oh, yeah, I need to pull that out, because one of these is something that I was just reminded of in a chat with a friend recently. And we'll get into that. Let's go ahead and start off with some powders, mostly because I want to share one that I actually just recently shared in my Shop My Stash, and I'm pulling it out for the season because I was like, in a few weeks, this might be too light for me to get away with wearing. And so I am very excited to be pulling it out, and I've already worn it since I filmed that video. I think by the time this video goes up, that video will have already been up. Check the description. I'm pretty sure it'll probably be there, but this is from Hourglass and this is Dim Infusion. So this blush, I will swatch it out for you, but listen, y'all, you're not gonna be able to get the true majesty of this one. It is just divine. It is also, I think, a great one to put on top of a cream blush to just set it, but still keep that beautiful radiance. Yeah, can you even see it? No, barely. Like, seriously. What I'm going to do is I'm going to try to remember to wear this tomorrow, and I will insert a B-roll footage here. If I, by the way, depending on how long it takes me to get this edited, I will try to wear some of these over the next few days, and the ones that I do wear, I'll make sure to show you on my face. But I am really excited to pull this one out because when it's on the cheeks and it's not on my dry, crusty hairdresser hand, it just gives this beautiful glow, like lit from within. And I know that was so overused there for a while, but it really is. I have a picture of myself wearing this years ago, and every time I see that photo, I'm like, yes, that was Dim Infusion. And I just remember loving my makeup that day. So I really, really love this one, and I need to use it right now. I probably missed out on an opportunity to wear it this winter, but I know that I can still get some use out of it right now. All right, so the one that I am wearing today, I never have a problem remembering to reach for my RMS blushes, but I usually go through cycles of what I'm loving to wear. And I have to say, I have really been in a pink and like plum, but like light plum sort of vibe this season. I don't know what it is. I'm sure the minute that it warms up over like 75, I'm gonna be like, give me the oranges, give me the brights, give me the reds, warm tones, warm tones. But I've just really been here for like shades like this. So this is Cur Royale, and this one is just this beautiful. When I go to pull out a pink out of my collection, especially if I'm going through my RMS blushes, I feel like I have to be in the mood for like a warmer pink or that true rose color, I guess I would say. This is definitely more of that like slightly cool tone. And I tell you what, with these, especially this one right here, it's almost impossible to put too much on. Like it really is. It's like this formula is just so lovely. I do think that the RMS blushes have almost like 2 or 3 formulas in them, because there are shades that are very pigmented, there are shades that are a little less pigmented, and then there are ones that have almost like a duochromatic shift. They all look beautiful on the skin and they all have a gorgeous like luminosity to them, but it's just interesting that they really aren't all the same. So this is Cur Royale, just, you know, really packed onto a swatch here, but on my cheeks, it isn't that much. And I tell you what, I went in pretty well with this. And I find that it's just, just wanted more. I kept wanting more. And I feel like this is a shade also that if you like blush draping, you can really use this and buff it into your crease for a really quick and easy eye look. So you could just sort of like have it all together. There's a shade in here that I did that with the one day and it just turned out beautifully, but you could definitely do that with this one. So again, Coeur Royale. Now for our third and final powder pick, this is sort of like out of the realm of what I've been into lately, but when I tried these on, I was just so intrigued by the finish. I recently did a try on haul with these. These are the What's Up Beauty Chicotera blushes, and this is the shade Serene Sienna. Now, these blushes are matte, but have a glow. So they are matte as far as like, you don't see a lot of juicy sheen to them, or maybe should I say that they are matte but sheeny. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna say. They are matte and they have a very subtle sheen, but they don't have the glow. Like they don't have the like slightly damp, slightly wet skin. So if you are a blush lover, but you get very oily skin, or you live in a really hot climate and you want something that, you know, isn't gonna just make you look extra oily, I think that this would be a great way to go. And so this shade, it's really interesting because I was sort of expecting this to be a bit more cool toned pink on the cheeks, and it really isn't. I would say it's more of like a mid-tone, like warm, dusty mauve. But if you can see here, Coeur Royale is just so much cooler that it makes this look much warmer. But it is, I would say, more of like a neutral mauve. And it's really pretty. I don't know. I'm going to enjoy this one. And this is also one of those blushes that I think could be I'm not really sure what I'm doing with the rest of my makeup, and I just need something that's gonna go with anything. I think that this could be that girl. This could be that girl. So really excited about this one. If you do wanna see this on the cheeks, it would be in my most recent makeup playdate, which I'll have listed down below. All right, so those are our powders. Now, I wanna get into a couple that are sort of in that hybrid realm. I think that most people would still consider this a powder, but more of that like putty powder. If you don't have any of the MAC Glow Play blushes, let me tell you, I mean, I know that they have a pretty good cult following, but they are really underrated, and I love them. So this is the shade Rosie Does It. This is, again, a shade that you can get a lot of pigment out of, but also wear in a more subtle way. So this has that putty, like, but not wet, you know, like oh, it just feels so velvety on the skin. And this one you could pack on quite intensely, but you could also blur it out quite a bit. I'm just gonna like run it down the side of my hand here. So see how I can just really blur this out. This is that, it's just like springtime. I mean, I could very easily just pop on a little bit of contour with like a neutral bronzer or something, and then just like throw that on my lid, pack this on the cheeks, mascara, a little bit of gloss, and I would be good to go. Like I have been loving a, not bronzed, but sort of like, and I don't want to say contoured as in like old school, like, you know, but a little bit of shape to the face, and then lots of blush, and then a pop of juicy color on the lips. Like I've just really been here for it. And you know, for me, an eye look usually is what kind of takes the longest. So just to be able to like pop some color on the cheeks, a little mascara, and I just feel awake. I just feel awake, and I think that this shade definitely gets you there. So Rosie Does It from MAC. I'm not sure if this shade is still available, but I know that this formula is. I absolutely love these. All right, so a step up from that in the sort of like cream world would be the Danessa Myricks Yummy Skin Flushed Balms. You had to expect one of them in here, right? You guys know that I'm absolutely obsessed with these. I could have picked half of the shades from this line. I have all of them but the two newest ones, I'm pretty sure. And I love them all. But this one I have been wearing a lot. And this is the one that I was saying that I sort of wore like draped. So I had packed it onto my cheeks and almost like blurred it a little bit into my crease. This is Rosé and Brunch. And what I love about this is that sort of like rose color that isn't too cool, it isn't too warm. It's, again, it's sort of along the lines of something that's gonna go with anything. Actually, if you can see here. So this is the What's Up Beauty shade that I was talking about. I mean, the Yummy Skin is definitely more pigmented. Like they're very pigmented, but it's in that line of like, I could have worn it today. I honestly just can't think of anything that I couldn't wear this with. Like if I was wearing Barbie pink, I could put this on and it would just give me like a little bit warmer look. I could wear this with red. You could wear it with, you know, if you were wearing like an orange top and it wouldn't clash too much. I love it. I really love this. I think it's so flattering. And I think that these can be built up so beautifully on the skin that most of the shades are gonna work on beautiful deep skin and also like really light skin. So love these so, so much. Okay, I would say that this is probably my warmest toned pick out of the mix, but the fact that this is still, it's like a bright color and it's still like springy. It doesn't give me true summertime vibes, and that was part of why I pulled this out. Also, I really need to use this. It's so pigmented and a little goes a long way, and I really need to use this. So this is the Cloud Paint from Glossier, and this is in the shade Beam. This is, again, they're very, very pigmented. And this, I would say, is almost like peach sorbet. So you get that beautiful warm tone, but it is in a almost, I don't want to say pastel, but in that beautiful, like, look how bright that is, but light. It's bright and it's light. I really just love this. This is, again, like the warmest one out of the bunch, but this definitely gives me spring vibes. And when I did my reorganization in my drawers, I had moved one of my containers with a lot of my products that are sort of the shape that I pop into like a lipstick holder. I'd moved it down in the next drawer down. So those products, like my cloud paints and my Vision Flush from Danessa Myricks and my Flower Beauty, have all been being ignored because I just keep forgetting to open up that drawer. So definitely excited to pull this one out and give it its moment of glory. All right, since we're into the liquids, I sort of went like powder into powder creams and then liquids, and then I guess we're gonna come back into the true creams in a little bit, but liquids. All right, I told you guys that since I've tried these, I cannot put these down, and it is true. I had to force myself to get away from using the Glaminatrix Cheek and Lip Flush. I wasn't sure what the official name was. So I have two shades here. I love each of these on their own, but I also love cocktailing them. So we're gonna do that here. So we have the shades Soft and Nurture. Now I'm not sure how long the sale is going on, but I know that they were doing a 30% off of the blushes. And let me tell you, I don't have all the shades of these. I don't need all of the shades, but I was tempted for a hot minute to go on and snag whatever I didn't have because I love these so much. They are pigmented, but not so scary pigmented like the Rare Beauty ones. Which I love. I love that formula as well. These are also, I would say, a bit thinner maybe. So we have Soft and Nurture. So Soft is this beautiful, I would say, like petal rose, and then Nurture is obviously a much more vibrant. It's not leaning into like an orchid, but it's a bright pink that has like just a tish of orchid to it. So what I've been doing is blending these two together to create kind of like a mid-tone, you know, just to soften that out a little bit so you can see there. So I kind of have, oh, look at that. That's a beautiful little ombre moment right there. So I have really just enjoyed all of these. And you can even see here on the back of my finger, the thinness of this product. I think, depending on how much you buff this into the skin, it almost starts to look like a stain, like a cheek stain, because they don't really have a lot of texture to them. And they do have definitely a serum feel to them. So if you are really oily, I don't think that these would be for you. If you have dry skin, I think they would be gorgeous and up into like a normal skin. But because of that serum-y consistency, I would say that if you get uber glowy on your own, you're probably not going to want these, partially because they'll just like slide all over, and I have a feeling that they just wouldn't have a lot of longevity. But these are just so yummy. Like, you know what I need to do is I need to do this, and then I need to put the Hourglass over the top, almost like a setting powder. Doing it. Okay, maybe I will showcase that if tomorrow I'm going to be using this one anyway. I don't know. We'll see. I would love to just do all the cheek swatches for you because I think with blush that really is the best way to see it, but I only have so much time, and can't walk around with like one blush on one cheek and one on the other for work every day. Although I don't think my clients would care. All right, we have 3 more products to talk about. Since we're in the like very emollient type product, let's talk about one more. This is one of the Lip and Cheek Cream Tint Pros from Salt, New York. I've talked about these a lot. Talked about these in my over 40 makeup picks because I just think that these sit on the skin so beautifully. This is like the best, like you but fresher type vibe. So this is the shade Rose. I just pulled it out of my little quad here. This is such a lovely shade because it really adds a bit of natural tint to the skin. It has that hint of brown to it. It's a rose, but it has a bit of brown. And so it looks so lovely on the skin. It's another one that's going to go with just about everything. I think also if you love a shade like RMS's Maiden's Blush, this has a little bit of that vibe. So it's just like that beautiful, naturalized, gorgeous, gorgeous color. Okay, so absolutely a fan of this, but again, the emolliency of the Cream Tint Pros, I would say, are best on dry to normal skin. If you are super oily, I wouldn't expect a lot of longevity out of these. If you are super oily and you wear it, I would make sure to wear it with something that's not also like a skin tint or something like that. You're gonna want something that has like a little more something to it, or else it's just gonna slide off. But I love them and you all know that, so we're not gonna stay on that. The last 2 that we have are both from Sydney Grace. They are both of their cream blushes. So I absolutely love these. I use them quite a bit, or did. Obviously I have so much that I tend to I get on a fix with something and I'm like, oh my gosh, I love these. And then I use those for a while and then I move around. So I definitely had a fix moment with these for a while. So it's time to pull them back into the rotation. And I was just talking to my friend Mel. She is Mel by Grace on Instagram, by the way. So I'll have her link down below. But we were just talking about the Sydney Grace cream blushes. And she was saying that she hadn't been using hers as much. But the one that I haven't been using is the one from this last mystery bag launch, because rather than doing them in the normal packaging that they have, the ones that were in the mystery bags were in pans like this. So this is the shade, oh, I just stuck my thumb in it. Great, give me a second. I had it in a Makeup Geek case and it was just staying there. So this is the shade Pink Hydrangea. Now, I'm sure that this was a limited edition shade, but if you did get the mystery bag like I did, you have this and you should pull it out. So this is definitely a cooler toned rosy shade. So you have to be ready for that cooler shade, but it is just lovely. I think that these are pigmented, they blend out easily, a little goes a long way. I really like it. They are not overly juicy either. They go on really nicely, but I think they dry down enough that the longevity is really beautiful on them. So if you got the mystery bag and you have this, you have it somewhere in your collection, and so you should pull it out. All right, the other shade, I'm not sure if this is a permanent shade or if it was another limited edition shade, but this is Strawberry Cheesecake. Now this one is so pretty, but it's a little bit deeper, and I feel like it hits somewhere in the middle between the Salt New York Rose shade and the one that I just swatched. What was that? Something Hydrangea? Wow. It's only been 30 seconds. The limited edition one from Sydney Grace. So you can see it's it's like a red brown rosy. Can I put anything else into here? But I just love this. I think that this is one that if I was wearing a bit warmer eye look, or maybe there's a day where I just wanted a bit of bronzer, and to have something like this on, that would go really well. And again, these can be sheared out quite a bit if I didn't want quite that intense of color. I also think that because this is a bit deeper, this could absolutely work as almost like a bit of a bronzer. You know, maybe not if you have intensely warm skin. I think it would be too cool for that, but I just love it. And I really wanted to have a mix of shades of ones that contain a bit of brown, ones that are really sort of taste the rainbow shades, and then some that are somewhere in between. So this is all of what's going to be right here this season. I would love to know what your vibe is this season. Honestly, I haven't even gone through and looked to see what the trends are going to be for makeup. I'm really not all that interested, but I'm always kind of curious to see what the trends will be, but I know that my trend this season is going to be a lot of pinks, a lot of like lighter pops on the cheeks, and then some that I know that I can wear with just about anything. I hope you enjoyed getting to see a bit of what I'm gonna be wearing this season. I always enjoy doing these little like features of a category because I think it just reminds us to like pull some things out in our collection that we're feeling for that season. Now, obviously doing my Shop My Stash is great for that as well, but oftentimes I'm picking out the things that I really just like had to dig to like even remember that I had in my collection, or things that I should possibly be getting rid of soon. So you can check out that video if you would like to see that. My friend Natalia and I are doing something fun this year with our Shop My Stash. We're giving each other prompts to, you know, kind of make it a little fun, a little challenging, and I've really been enjoying it. So you can check that one out. So, boy, between what I picked out for my seasonal Shop My Stash and what I picked out here, I've got a lot of options and I'm gonna be having a lot of fun this season. Thank you, lovelies. I will see you really soon.